Keeping it real with Rudi Lickwood, the topical interactive chat show where you may end up being one of the guests, with special guests and you the audience. Comedy with Rudi Lickwood. This event is brought to you by Comedy Hotspot. Don't forget, keeping it real with Rudi Lickwood. This is an 18 certificate only.
Whoa, and good evening. How are we doing? Thank you. Thank you for turning up early. A lot of people don't turn up early. I don't know why it is. They wait. It's like they're waiting on a bus for some reason. Do you know what I mean? They go, you know what? The show's going to wait on me. The show's going to wait on me. I'm in no rush. I'm just going to take my time. And when the show starts, it's going to wait on me. It's not going to get going until I'm ready. That's how black people stay. That's how we steer. When we got a rave, yeah? And we're like, this rave ain't going to start until we're ready for it to start. I don't know why that is. We don't turn up on time. We don't know time. As far as we're concerned, time belongs to us. Benjamin Banneker, you know what I mean? He was the man, put together a clock. He actually made a clock out of wood. Can you believe that? Yeah, he's a black man. American, back in the day. Made a clock out of wood. So you'd have thought that seeing as we control time, we would actually turn up on time. But thank you very much for joining me. That's all I'm going to say right about now. It's been quite a day. Hello, Astrid. Thank you, darling. It makes me feel better when somebody says hello, instead of just making me feel like I'm all by myself. And I can see that I'm not by myself in the room, I know there's more of you there. I can see you. But yes, Astrid, thank you very much for popping in, man. One of my guests. Yes, hello, Denise. How you doing, darling? You are here too. I appreciate. She says, good evening all. That's what you call manners. You call that manners and respect. You know what I mean? Manners and respect. That's all you need. So, how are we feeling today, people? It's been Monday. Have you all been out there in the sun enjoying yourself? I hope so. I ain't been enjoying myself. I'm going to keep it real. I ain't been enjoying myself. Do you know what I mean? It don't make no sense to me. I can go in the garden. And when I go in the garden, I can't go in the garden with my family. That don't make no sense. But I can go in the pub with people that I don't know. Total strangers that I don't know, breathing all over me. Breathing. Gotta put on that mask. You lot done know I ain't ready for the mask. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not waiting on the mask. Yeah, the mask can't even stop a fart from getting through. So how is it going to stop COVID from getting through? That's what I want to know. I squeeze my butt cheek so tight and yet feel like I can still smell the fart. Come on, man. Ain't going to do no good. But anyway, this ain't about Rudi Lickwood ranting today, as you know. This is about me having a couple of guests down, having my mates in the room like chocolate. It's none of your business why I call her chocolate, by the way. Yeah, having my mate Sharon in the room. How you doing, Sharon? Thanks for popping in, darling. Oh, Martin's here as well. The doctor. You can't hear us. Oh my God. Cheers, bruv. I'm not sure. Let me turn up the volume. People in the room, if you're in the room now, how am I sounding now? Does it sound better to you? Can you guys hear me okay? Because I don't want to bring any of my guests in until you guys can hear okay.
Can you hear okay? Does it sound better now? Just let me know. Give me a thumbs up or give me something just to let me know that it actually sounds better. Does it sound better now? Martin? Sharon? Astrid? Denise? Antigua? Someone talk to me now? Can hear you. Okay, thank you. E. You can't see me? No, I can't see you, Alison. I can't see you. You're somewhere out there in the ether as far as I'm concerned. Loud, see? At least someone's telling me it sounds loud. Depends on what room you're in. Have I stepped out of... have you noticed I haven't left the seat? I'm in the same place. I haven't left the seat. Yeah? So as I promised, ladies and gentlemen, I told you that from the beginning that I was going to start a chat show that was going to be about us. It was not going to be about people all over the place. It wasn't going to be about just all the professionals that I meet on my journey. Yeah, but it's going to be people, real people. Okay? And the first person that I'm going to introduce you to today, she's feisty. I have to say she's feisty. I never knew why she was feisty. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, this person's giving me some heat. It's like they was on the keyboard just going, shut up, man. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. I thought to myself, you know what? And then there were certain words. There were certain words that was coming out. There were Guyanese slang that was coming into the conversation. And I was thinking to myself, this person must be Guyanese the way that they're talking to me. Do you know what I mean? They must be from Guyana. And not only that, but they're feisty. Yeah. But before I actually bring them on, you know me. Yeah. I like to bring on my guests. But before I do, I always like you to get a peek at them first. Oops. I made a mistake there. Oh no. That's not how you get to have a peek at them. That's not how you get a peek at them. This is how you get a peek at them. Ain't she cute? Welcome our first guest, Miss Donna Benn.
Hi everybody.
Hi
Rudi,
everybody.
I'm going to cuss your ass, you see.
You see you? See the first thing she says to me, right? Is she's gonna cuss my ass. Not how are you, Rudi? Not I hear you was having problems with your mask, Rudi, but I'm gonna cuss your ass. You see how she start? That's typical. That's what you call a typical Guyanese person. Feisty. Why is the feisty, man? Or what, has COVID got you down?
I'm going to behave. COVID?
Yeah.
No. COVID's not got me down. It's got me bored.
Okay.
Fed up of being in my yard.
Okay. Yeah, that's because you're not using the gym, innit?
No,
You're not
because
using
I
the
can't
gym.
find you to wring your neck.
No, you're not. Why you want to wring my neck, man?
Like chicken.
Yeah. Like chicken, yeah.
Who's that? Hi, Antigan. Hi, Empress.
Yeah, they're all here. They're all here, man. Rudi, only one person said he can't hear you. If the rest of us couldn't, you'd think we would just sit here and watch you. Shut up. Yeah? Or else you ain't going to see her again. I'll just kick her out the room. You ain't going to see her again. I'll kick her out.
So I am going to say, though, my phone just overheated and totally cut me off. So
is that what happened?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Because for a while there, when we were getting ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, it was just me in the room. And all I saw was a blank screen. And I said to myself, don't panic. I don't think she's lost her nerve. Not like how her mouth stayed. There's no.
I want to know where you get that mouth from. Where you grow up? That's what I want to know. Where you grow up to get that mouth like that? Where you grow up?
Okay, I was born in South, but I grew up in Essex.
Oh, in South. But you grew up in Essex.
Yeah, I was born in South.
Oh, look at you. Hold on. That was my phone, man. So you're an Essex girl in essence then?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You're a little Essex girl, innit? Look at you. You're a little Essex girl, innit? That's you, innit? Little Essex girl?
No.
That's you, man. Little Essex girl, isn't it?
No, I didn't move there. Mum moved me there.
Mum took you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
we moved from predominantly black area to a predominantly white area.
Okay. That must have been quite a traumatic experience, I would have thought. I mean, that's you there, isn't it? That's you there. With the little love heart around you, isn't it? That's you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's me.
That's what you call a prune in a bowl of rice pudding. That's what you call that.
Yeah, a lot of my school pictures look like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? I think there's quite a few of us who actually. I mean, I went to a predominantly school that was surrounded by a lot of white kids, and a few Asian kids sprinkled around me as well. You know.
But I bet you weren't the only one.
No, I wasn't the only one. So
I was
I mean,
the only one.
which couldn't have been easy. Because what
No,
are
it
we
was
talking
hard.
about? Are we talking about what, the 70s?
Yeah, so late 70s. So from what, about 76
Right.
when I started school. Yeah, so when my first school, infant school, junior school,
Okay.
I was the only black person there, and I dealt with racism every day.
Every day you had to deal with racism.
Every day, without fail.
Oh my God. So,
And that was
whoa.
inside of school and outside of school.
Okay. Whoa. So that could not have been easy. I mean, I mean, what sort of stuff did you actually go through? What did you actually go through when you talk about racism? What was it, just name calling or?
Oh yeah, I was called a nigger every day. Every
Bloody
day
hell.
without fail. I was told that there's no black in the Union Jack.
Yeah,
So
I
I
remember
better go
that one.
back.
I remember that one.
They used to. I spent a lot of my younger years. I spent a lot of my younger years crying.
Oh my
They're
God.
my heartbeats. You put up my heartbeats.
Was that your heartbeats? Tell us about the heart. When you say your heartbeats, these are your
My
two
two
little
girls.
ones. Oh my God. Look at them with their
Two
tongues out there, man.
babies. Two
So what do
idiots. Yeah.
So know that you made sure then that you took them out. You didn't bring them up in an area that you were actually brought up in, did you?
No,
You know what I
they
mean?
were. They're proper East London children,
Okay.
and they grew up around multicultural. I would
Okay.
never ever put them through what I put them through.
Okay.
Hi, baby.
Okay.
Hi, Antigua.
Is it? And yeah, Antiqua's lovely. Antiqua's always she always puts up stuff. Prune, that's awful. Shut up, man. That's keeping it real. That's keeping it real. But hey, strength,
It's
Donna.
all
Fair
right,
play.
Julie. I will get him.
It's all right, strength. So what do you do? Because I mean, the thing is, that's why I said I find that you're quite a very strong woman. That's what I just from the comments that you make, bright and early in the morning. Oh, you're trying to see what Antigua's saying. But has Donna any
'cause you know I'm
friends?
blind.
Yeah. Have you got any friends still from primary or junior school or secondary school? Is an art question being asked of you. Have you kept in touch with any of those?
No, I didn't keep in touch with them. I see them on Facebook now, and we've had some school reunions.
Right.
There is one girl that lives by my mum, so I see her a lot when I go and see my mum, because my mum still lives there.
Okay. So your mum still stayed in the area? Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing is that when parents came over, it's like they sort of felt they was coming over to the land of milk and honey.
Yes.
I mean, what was it like when you had to tell your mum what you was going through when you was at school?
Mum just said ignore it.
Simple
That's
as
all
that,
my
just-
mum did. Yeah. Whereas I had an older brother that lived with us, and he was, well, fight. If somebody hits you, fight. We had a Christmas day where we were walking to a family member, and there were a carload of racists, and they started calling us racist names. And Mum was saying, "Come on, let's walk." My brother wasn't having it.
Okay.
My
He
brother,
was ready to stand up. He ready to stand up.
Oh, we mashed up the car with them in it.
Respect. You know, I had a clip of a guy who was called a nigger, and by 3 guys, and he actually punched all 3 of them out. I wish I could have brought it up right now. Do you know what I mean? And it was like boof, 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 all 3 of them, lock out, lick down, boom, done. Argument dead. You know what I mean? So what did you ever?
That's how you could do.
But did you ever feel the need? Right. So did you ever feel the need to actually hit out yourself?
Yeah, I did. In the end, because I spent a lot of my formative years crying, and because the teachers weren't doing anything about it, and it was happening in front of them, it got to a point where it spilled over. So I punched a boy in his face. We were at the desk,
right?
And she's looking at me. He's standing there calling me a nigger. She's looking at me, not saying anything. So I punched him in his face.
That must have changed. That must have been a big change for you when that happened.
Because his father said he was going to put me in hospital.
He actually came around to your house to say he was going to put you in hospital, or he just came?
No, I was out in the street.
Okay. Whoa. Girl, no one,
I had to
no.
deal with it.
I think a lot of sisters must have gone through something similar, man. You know, it gives me a good idea now of why you're so assertive, also forthright in your opinions. Now, I can better understand. To be honest with you, I just thought you
Like
didn't
I
like
said,
black.
I didn't like black what? Who? You?
Yeah.
Don't start. Negro.
Oh God! I thought you just hated the black man. Oh my God, the black man, he's horrible. He's horrible.
You are horrible, bloody cheat.
I'm not, man. I'm not.
I know.
I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. So what? You Jamaican then? Are you Jamaican?
No, I'm a Guyanese man. Through and through.
Because people, when I tell people about Guyanese, they get lost, right? I talked to a guy by the name of Countryman. Countryman telling me said that our Guyana is a small island, and I'm like, and this is a guy who said he passed his English exam. You know, he didn't study geography.
I've got doubts about Countryman and his English, for starters.
It's English. You got to put a H when you talk about country. You got to put a H in it. You know what I mean? You get English.
You see when you say the alphabet?
Yeah.
And they get to H and they say H.
Yeah. I know. But I think it's just language, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just language.
But no. Guyana is number one part of the Caribbean. Yep. Many people will tell you it's not.
It's not. Well, it is. In actual fact, it is part of it. It is part of the Caribbean only because of the colonization that really took place. Because really and truly, it's South America.
It's the only mainland country that's part of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will defend that, and I've had to defend that all the while.
You don't need to defend it. We got enough people who can defend it. Do you know what I mean? Because we got personalities. We got pork pie.
Got enough.
Yeah, we got pork pie.
And Norman Beaton.
Norman Beaton from Desmond's. You know when I think of Desmond's, it's funny that because when I saw this image, I kind of thought of the I hadn't thought of the Desmonds. Do you know what I mean? I thought, is that you down the bottom there? Is that you at the bottom, or is that?
That's me.
Oh my God! So this is the fam. Is this the fam? Which one's your brother? Which one?
The one next to me.
The big one.
That big man. That big man next to me is my brother. Yeah.
With the tie on. With the tie.
Yep.
No wonder he lick out the car. Look at the size of him, man.
Well, but he's 13 years older than me.
Okay.
And that lady in the middle.
That's your mum.
Right in the middle. That's my mummy.
Because you look like your mum.
Yeah, people keep saying that.
You do. You look like your mum, without a shadow of a doubt. You look like your mum, man. God, because you look like a little Desmond family. You know what I mean? So we got Norman Beaton. We got who else we got? We've got oh my God.
Well, as I was gonna say,
yeah.
The three main characters in Desmond are all Guyanese. So Desmond's pork pie and his wife, they were Guyanese, all of them.
Okay, cool.
You've got cricketers.
Clive, Mr. Lloyd.
Yeah, Mr. Lloyd.
Yeah. Sandra Paul, excellent.
And Karl
Hooper. See, they were all in the team when I remember as a kid growing up, and we were told by the English team said that they were going to beat the West Indies. They were going to make us. They were going to make us grovel. That's what they said. They're going to make you grovel. We're going to make you grovel. And then
that's when they got hit by the ball.
That's when. That's when they got taken out, man. So are both your parents Guyanese? Both of them?
Yeah, they are. Both of them are Guyanese.
Okay.
My dad's side of the family are into politics into Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
My mum's side of the family, her brother used to work for Burnham.
So wait, hold on. We're talking about the president here. We're talking about President Burnham.
Yeah, so he used to work for that, and my uncle on my dad's side was the deputy prime minister.
So we're talking, hey. So look, we're talking. This is what I'm saying. People, you're so surprised now, right? Because at the end of the day, you just look and you think, oh, you're just an ordinary person, but you're related, or your family ran bloody Guyana.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's
They did
amazing.
for a while until they
Only for-
got put in prison and thing. But yeah,
that's the thing about politics, though, isn't it? You don't survive for too long, man. You don't survive because so your dad was a politician.
no, he just got involved because his older brother was into it.
Okay. So
And
what was your
all-
brother? So was your brother thrown? Was it your dad's brother who was thrown? Got arrested? Got thrown into prison, or was he expelled from the country? Because I know a lot of people got expelled.
Right. So my uncle was put under house arrest by the CIA.
Okay.
And my dad had to leave Guyana because if he didn't, they said they was going to put him in prison.
And then that's when he came to the UK.
No, he went to Russia.
Fucking hell. So your dad went to Russia then?
Yeah.
Rah.
So he went to Russia to go and study law.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he did a lot of traveling. I'm not sure what he went to do, but he also had to go to Cuba, and he was speaking to Che Guevara.
Okay. Yeah.
And Fidel Castro.
Okay. So because
So
Castro
they went
was
to
a
talks.
right. Oh, he gave talks because I know that Castro was a thorn in America's side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was very much hated, but at the same time, the thing with the Cubans was that they all had free healthcare. They all had decent schooling. Do you know what I mean? Their economy was actually doing really, really well.
Much better.
Yeah, and it wasn't until
And
the Americans.
that's the reason why they didn't like them, because they were doing a lot better than America and showing a better way.
So what did you end up going to Russia? Did you go to Russia, or was that before you were born?
No, Dad went to Russia long before I was born.
Okay.
But during a school trip in my secondary school, they went to Russia. So he said that I had to go. I didn't have a choice. I had to go.
You had to go because I think there is somebody in history, something Pushkin, I think his name is. Somebody in the group might know. Alexander Pushkin, I think his name was. Famous. I think he was a famous. Either he was a musician or he was a writer. One out of the two. And he had a big influence on Russian culture.
Was he a writer?
I think he was a writer, if I'm correct. He was a writer, isn't he? I think he was a writer. But that's amazing, though, when you think, because you never really associate black people with Russia.
No, you don't. And when I went, I didn't see hardly any black people in Russia.
Yeah, you're not gonna, are you? All of them look cold and ice, and they look
It's cold.
It is cold.
But it's not as cold. It's not as cold as you think it was. We went during Easter, and it wasn't that bad. I got away with wearing a jumper rather than wearing a jumper and a coat.
Okay. Whoa. So there you go, people. That's something that we've actually learned quite new about our keyboard warrior in the room.
Yes, right.
She's of Russian heritage. She's come from. I reckon you should put on a Cossack, man. Wear a hat. I was like going. You know when those guys would bend down and they push their foot and they go.
I went to see them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. It must have had some sort of impact on you, one way or the other.
Yeah, but it was a good experience, seeing how they lived. They had a horse in a flat.
A horse, damn it, man! I remember the first time I saw somebody riding a horse out of the back dam. That was amazing for me to see. That was when I went to Guyana.
Like horses.
On beer back in. I like horses. Is it? No, I don't mind horses. They're big though. When you ain't used to seeing animals that size.
That's why I don't like horses.
Is it? They are huge. They are huge. I'm not gonna lie. They are huge. But it's a shame though, because we're just getting into you, and no doubt, you know, I can see that you've been through a lot, Liv. The racism ain't easy, you know.
Yeah, I'm still here.
But what's nice is that you've yeah, that's what I was gonna say, and you've managed to take your kids out of that kind of scenario, out of that situation. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't do it. I left there when I was 16.
That's quite young. So you left home when you were 16.
I had a job. Yeah.
You had a job? What? Yeah, but jobs were easier to get back in the day.
Exactly.
They were easier to get. You can go in and out. What was your first job?
Lloyd's Bank.
See, you went to a bank. Look at you. Can I get a loan? Can I get a loan,
No,
please?
I don't trust
Brock.
you.
I will pay it back. I will pay it back. Trust me, I will pay it
When?
back. I'll pay it
When?
back. I really would. I really would.
When?
As soon as I can. As soon as my furlough turns up. But we've run out of time, young lady. I've really enjoyed chit chatting with you, and I'd like you to hang around. I'd like you to stay though. I don't want you to totally disappear. I'm going because I want to bring on my next guest. But before I actually do that, I am proud to say actually that I'd like to go for a commercial break. Yeah, that was my daughter, man, doing her thing. I had a commercial break. Can you believe that? I got commercials now in my shirt and keep it real. I'm so proud of myself for doing that. I really am. Well, that's my daughter's little collection there. It's called Keep It Cute. Do you know what I mean? She's doing her own little cottage things, and it's something that you guys should really get behind. But let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. I am gonna waste no time actually, because I have very little time left, to be honest with you. And the next young lady has had a big influence on the music industry as a whole, as we've known it today. And like I said to you guys earlier on, I don't like to just bring my guests on. Yeah, I always like to give you a little insight into their personality before you even see them, and I introduce them on to you. So let's take a look at my next guest. DJ Cameo, look at you laying back. Look at you laying back, taking it easy.
Yeah, I was just relaxing, just kind of listening to Donna.
She's quite an interesting young lady, don't you think? I think she's quite an
Yes,
interesting.
Yes, she is.
I'm gonna bring her back. I'm gonna bring her back into the room because I think that I don't want to leave her out there by herself. Let me see if I can get her back
but
in
I
the
was
room.
out there by myself.
I know, but you've got so much to say.
I can be out there by myself.
Yeah. Whereas for us to leave her out there by herself, I don't think is nice. And then what we'll do is we keep her underneath us, and if she misbehaves, we just kick her out. All right. That's
You start again.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah, I'm sure she won't. But DJ Cameo, what can I say? There is so much to talk to you about. There's so much that we could get through. I mean, one of the first things I didn't know that you was in a reggae band. I didn't know. You didn't tell me. That was something you hid from me. Why was that? Why?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that for many reasons.
Okay, but you were in a reggae band, weren't you? You used to sing.
I was, yes, but I it's a long time ago, and a lot of things have happened since then. So I decided a good few years ago I don't want to talk about it at all. Thank you.
Oh my God! Look at that. I like the way that she's being evasive. She said it was such a good long time ago, because that's what look, she's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This young lady was gorgeous.
I didn't even know you had that picture.
You were absolutely gorgeous back in the day. You was doing your thing, girl. You look good. You look good. Oh my God, you look good.
No, you're doing that to make me blush, right?
No, I'm doing that just so that people can get a really good idea of just exactly how much you've done and how far you're coming from, because you were instrumental in a magazine that changed the whole reggae industry, weren't you? Really?
Well, yeah, it actually started one.
Okay, so it'd be nice for you to tell us about your journey just before you got to producing Gargamel. That's the name of the magazine that you produced. Okay, but before you got to
that was the
Gargamel,
name of the magazine.
That was the name because it's now changed. It's now called GMAG now. Yeah, but before you actually got there, all right, there was a hell of a lot that was going on before, and that's what. It's the journey that I'm always interested in. It's the journey of how you got there. Yeah. So we talk it. Let's start with let's start with where it started from. Where it actually started from.
Okay. Well, before I did the magazine, I was a journalist, and before I was a journalist, I was a teacher. So I was, my English and writing forever was always quite good. And then I was, before that, still I was a DJ. I was a DJ back in the early '90s on Genesis Radio in South London, and also on Climax Radio in East London, up until 1999. So from '93 roughly till about '99, I was on the radio as a DJ. During the day, I was a teacher, but I got fed up of teaching because it was too strenuous. It really, really was hard work. I taught adult education and business administration and English as a second language. And I taught adults, and that's the most frustrating thing ever, to teach adults, especially the ones that think they know everything and don't want to learn and don't want to listen to a woman teaching them, especially a black woman. It's all those things.
So that explains. One second. Yeah. That explains, Denise, why DJ Cameo shut down Rudi like pow.
See it
there? That's right. Okay. Yeah. So you was teaching, yeah, and I always thought that adults, because they paid to be taught, would have been more disciplined. But you're saying no.
No, they're most undisciplined, because you see, some of them, what it is that the embarrassment of not knowing some things. You understand? Some of them, especially like the men, because they were a certain age, some of them were older than me.
Okay.
And they didn't know everything, and they're learning. In fact, when I was teaching business administration, it was when computers first came out, and they were learning to learn a computer, to put the manual stuff onto a computer. And let me just read this message, and I got to use my magnifying glass. I'm as blind as a bat, and I do that. Yeah. Because have you got your magnifying glass as well, Donna?
No, I did. That's why I'm so close, babe. That's why I'm so close.
Well, yeah, I refused to wear glasses. But yeah, so they refused to. It was difficult because people refused to learn. They wanted to learn, and they paid for it. They paid big money, because I was paid big money back in the day to learn how to do certain things and also to teach. And so, I just earned a lot of money and wasn't able to spend it because I had to write reports. I had to actually plan the programs, then teach, then kind of mark the papers when I do exams, and then set the next lesson for the week coming. Then I would buy the tea and coffee. I would sweep up. I would do everything that it was needed. Because one of the first places I worked as a teacher, I was on my own. So I was center manager, I was teacher, I was everything, and they paid me loads of money, but I couldn't get to spend it because I'd leave my home at 8 o'clock in the morning to get to work for 9, and then I wouldn't get home until 10 in the evening, And then at the weekend, I'd have to, set my work for the following week. So I never had a life. So I saved up all this money, and I just thought, I want to do something different. So basically, I took a break. Last time I spoke to you, I said sabbatical, but then you said, what's that?
Yeah.
So I said,
you can't use big words around me, girl. You're talking to someone who got expelled from school, so you can't use big words around me, man. I try.
Right, well, I'll be local. I'm in East London. I've lived in East London most of my life, so I'll drop it to the street. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep it real.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Keep it real.
Anyway, I want to get through the story, so let me just not sidetrack. Okay, so basically, I got fed up with teaching. It was just too much hard work, and then I took a break, and I then at the same time I was DJing, parties and clubs and stuff like that. And basically, I won't even go back to tell you what I used to do before that because it'd take too long. Anyway, I knew a friend that was putting on concerts, and they did big concerts at Wembley. So one of the first concerts I worked on in 1996 was a concert with Blackstreet, SWV, Sisters with Voices, Snoop Dogg.
Sisters with Weaves, isn't it? That's Sisters Without Vehicles. Sisters Without Vehicles, SWV, isn't it?
Whatever. Yeah, Snoop Dogg.
It's Sisters Without Weaves. Sisters with...
It's Sisters with Voices. No, Sisters Without Weaves, it came much later.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah. Let me just look and see what this person's got. She said, okay, Juicy Juice says I taught education. Okay, I see that. All right. So so I did did this concert. I kind of worked on a concert in terms of doing some admin, selling some tickets. This is in 1996. And basically, what I did was to put together a program for the event. This is at Wembley. We had 3 nights at Wembley straight. So I put together a program, and I did it like a magazine, an A4 magazine, glossy, everything. Because the people them around me, told me that's how they wanted it. So basically, I had to then I was asked to look for some advertising. So I put my marketing hat on and got on the phone and phone people up and asked them if they wanted to advertise in the brochure. And one of the people I contacted was the Journal, who was owned by The Voice. Yeah, the Journal was a broadsheet back in the day. Yeah, and they were based in the Docklands. And I approached them and I said, do they want to advertise? And they said, no, we won't advertise, but we do a contra deal, which meant they would put an ad for the concert in the paper, and we put an ad for them in the brochure. So an exchange deal. So that's what we did. So anyway, after the concert, they said to me, can you write a review? Sorry?
Yeah, because the thing is that the Journal was one of the first. Well, first of all, we had The Voice. I think we had The Voice, and then we had the Journal came afterwards, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the Voice created the Journal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because basically the Voice was like a tabloid, and we referred it or compared it to the Sun or the Mirror, which it was like it wasn't serious journalism. It was more gossip and stuff like that, which people wanted. People bought into that. Yeah, but for the serious person, like the Guardian, and the Independent, we brought out the Journal. Yeah, and the Journal was, like I say, a broadsheet for the more business-minded black person. So anyway. So I asked them, I didn't even know about them. I just kind of phoned them up and said, do you want to advertise? So if they took out this ad, so after the concert now, they asked me to do a review of the concert. So I did. I wrote about the concert and they quite liked it. And the editor said to me, well, you can write, do you want to come and work with us? Because they were looking for staff. I said, okay. I wasn't working at the time because, as I said, I stopped teaching to take a break. So I went to work for them and ended up writing about music, because that was my area. At the time, I was a DJ. So anyway, it's like I spent quite a few years at the Journal, and then they closed and we went to The Voice. So The Voice closed it because the broadsheet, to be honest, wasn't that successful, because basically it was more The Voice.
Because I don't think that they really got the marketing right when it came to the Journal. It's not that there weren't enough white collar workers. I just think that the news that they were giving us wasn't relevant to Black British people. We were getting quite a bit of news about the Caribbean and what have you, and we were interested, but it really wasn't about us. It really wasn't pertaining to us.
I don't think it's so much that. I just think that people that read newspapers on the whole, they like a lot of gossip. They like, things that's controversy. Yeah, they like that. That's what sells papers. You see, like one of the most popular paper was The Sun. And all they had in it was controversy, who was sleeping with who, this and that.
In there, man. They had page 3. They had page 3, man. I used to always go and pick up The Sun, man, because it had page 3.
They were the first to do that. A half-naked girl in the paper. That was what the men bought it for, and that made it the most popular paper. But you see now, there wasn't a lot of blue-collar worker that read magazines because. Black magazines or black newspapers, should I say? There weren't no magazines around.
That's what I'm saying. There was nothing really targeting us. I mean, who's going to produce something that's going to target us? You know, and that's what I love, the direction that your conversation is going now.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I went to the Journal, I just went because because they approached me and I'd written about a concert. I said to them, this is the area I want to do. So I then contacted the record labels and said, look, I want to review some of the albums that you've got. I want to go to the theater. I want to go to the concerts, to the events, and review those events. And that's where I started in '96. I used to go to all of the concerts. There were many concerts. Everybody from everywhere came over to the UK in those days. All of the big artists, you know. For example, one of my first interviews on a soul tip was the second concert that my friend did at Wembley, was with Jay-Z, the Fugees, and I can't remember everybody, but I remember I was the first one to interview Jay-Z in this country. He came as a I think he was in his early 20s, and nobody knew him. And what people don't understand is that everybody starts somewhere. When you start, okay, I'm going to go into music, somebody has to be the first person that interviews you, or the first person that, you know, has you on their radio show, or the first person that actually plays your record. You with me? That's what people don't understand. So when I say to people, I was the first one to interview Jay-Z in this country, they think, oh, wow. But, you know, I was the first one to have Usain Bolt on the cover of my magazine. That when I first met him, he hadn't gone to Beijing. He didn't win. He didn't have any gold medals. You understand? So anyway, I'm just going back to the concert. So being at the Journal now, I interviewed everybody. And one of the interviews I did was with Barris Hammond back in '96. And I also interviewed Marcia Griffiths. But you see, the Journal said they'd only take one, and they took Barris. And I remember Marcia being very upset that I didn't put her on in the magazine, in the newspaper. Anyway, I keep saying magazine, so let me get to the magazine. So basically, while at The Voice now, when the Journal closed and we went back to The Voice back in Brixton, that was Cole Harbour Lane, somebody came in, I won't mention her name, somebody came in and said they wanted to do a magazine. So one of the workers in the office said to me, oh, can you help this lady to do a magazine? So I said, okay. And what it is, I ended up doing the magazine, writing it, putting it together, actually editing it, designing it, deciding who the artists were going to go in there, everything. So I created this magazine from scratch. I just kind of, just to let you know, I'm the kind of person that I will tackle anything. I don't believe I can't do anything. And even if I fail at it, I will at least try and give it my best shot. So I was very creative then. I had people around me, but back in those days, we used to work together more than we do now, because people would support you. Because basically, I did that magazine, and at the end of it, this lady won an Emmy, a Channel 4 Emmy award for it. But when she went to get her award, she didn't mention me.
She didn't mention you, right?
She didn't mention me at all. So this went and got her award.
That's typical, man. That's typical of people. That's typical. People do that all the time.
Yeah, well, this is it. But you know what? I didn't really feel no way, because she asked me to do it for her. So I saw it as I did it for her. I didn't do it for myself. So somebody came along called Mikey, a guy called Mikey Simpson. He saw that and he came to my house and he said, sorry, he's now passed, so God rest his soul. He came to my house and he said to me, Melissa, she's just won an award for that magazine that you done, because everybody knew I did it, because I went to everybody to try and get help with it. And he goes, why don't you do one for yourself? And I thought, okay, but I don't know how to do it. So he came and he brought a template, which you could go online at the time and get templates of different things. So he said, look, here's how you do it. And he kind of showed me. And then I went to other people to help me. So I basically just learned how to do it from scratch. But being as I was a teacher and I have a very good command of English, and I had very good contacts in the industry, in the media industry, from working at The Voice, I was able to just kind of put this thing together. So I then, I used to go to concerts and do reviews. So one of the concerts I went to was the Essential concert in Brighton. Yeah. And that was, and I don't know if you remember that, but back in the day, the record companies like Sony, EMI, Virgin, Atlantic, all those major record labels, they used to put concerts together and bring over all of the artists. So I've met everybody. You know, I can't think of anyone that I haven't met. So anyway, now a young I think it was about 18 or 19-year-old came over to the Essential concert, and I was in one of the. They had loads of tents. It was a 3-day weekender, and they'd lay on everything. They paid for everything. As a journalist, you know, you get privilege. You know, you go. There's food.
You get free
drink,
food and free drink.
Free drink and everything. Passes. You know, we were treated like kings and queens because, you know, we wrote. We see back in the day, journalists were and radio disc jocks were people that broke records. We kind of like, they would say to us, this is the artist that we want to produce and we want to push forward, and they would come to us and say, what do you think of this? So I was a tastemaker, so I got sent music.
Because the thing is that around this time we had nobody putting anything in print. There was nothing in print.
That's the thing.
Guys.
So when I said, okay, when Mikey came to me and said, do a magazine, you know, and let me just interject. I think it was a good thing that my girl didn't mention me, because what happened with her was when she won the award, everybody approached her and offered her a job, you know, as an editor, but she couldn't do it. So,
she can't do fart, man. She can't do fart. When somebody else is taking your things, you get me? They're gonna get exposed. They're gonna get exposed.
And the thing is, but then they've already offered her a job. And the funny thing is, I remember I met her down in South London, and she goes to me, she's crying. She goes, I said, what's up? She goes, oh, I got this really good job, and I can't really do it. Can you help me? I said, what job? She goes, well, they offered me a job. Sorry. She offered me a job, and I can't. Can you show me how to do this? I said, well, I can't do that.
Go sink. Go sink.
Yeah.
Go sink.
Yeah, so anyway, I was telling you about this young man that came over. Anyway, I was at the Essential concert, and I was in one of the tents listening to, I think, one of the R&B artists, and I heard this music coming from this tent. And when I ran across, and loads of us ran across to hear who it was Buju Banton. Yeah,
raw.
And he was singing, amongst other songs, he was singing "It's Not an Easy Road." And I was telling you earlier that if you ever heard that song being played live, and the instruments, the players of instruments was something else. It was absolutely out of this world, you know. And so I remember going on the coach and sitting down next to him and saying, you know, and I was so nervous. I said, you know, basically, you know, I was chatting to him for about an hour, but I said to him, I want to do a magazine, you know, and I want to call it Gargamel, you know. And he goes, yeah, you can use the name. But let me just tell you about the name. For me, the name was Gargamel. They called him the Gargamel, and every time you heard the Gargamel, it just sounded like the Don. And the Italians use the word Don Gargan, isn't it? Like, you know, Ninja Man, front teeth, gold teeth, mash up teeth,
back teeth, mash up teeth. But the thing is that Gargamel was in actual fact a Smurf character.
It comes from the Smurfs, yes, but it's also a word in the dictionary. Yeah, which means like a, you know,
a wizard.
Yeah, wizard. But it's a negative word in a point. But in another sense, being a wizard of something means that you know everything about that thing. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I use it. But the main thing for me for using it was Gaga. Instead of saying Rudi said instead of using it as Gargamel, they used to say, well, because he was so bad at school and he got what he wanted, he got away with what he wanted, that's why they call him the Gargamel. But like I said, for me, it has the word Mel in it, and they call me Mel, Melissa. And then the Gaga for me was Gaga Mel, as in Don Gaga, like a Donnet. You know, I used to be bossy. Yes. I still am bossy because I can do shit, you know, and I've got skills, you know. That's the one. Yeah. Show the other one, because that one actually got the Don Gaga. There you go. Don Gaga was one of my partners, and Mel Pasta. So if you put the two together, you got Gargamel. So it had my name in it, so that's why I wanted the name. Yeah. Yeah. But so I called it Gargamel, and then it just took off, you know. And basically, I put Marcia Griffiths on the cover, the first cover, because I'd done that interview with her. Yeah, those are the magazines. Yeah, I'd done that interview with her at the Journal, and I wasn't able to get to use it. So I didn't use this exact same interview, because I interviewed her again on issue 12. But I remember putting her on the cover of the magazine, you know. But it's like, when I did the magazine, because I'm so used to the jobs I used to have in the city as centre managers and all of that.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, the fact that you're so used to doing everything, was why you was able to put all of that together.
Together, yeah. Because what I didn't know, I would ask somebody, you know. So I remember employing staff even. That's the first time I've done that. But you see, for 3 years I worked at the Voice Stroke Journal. I was in self-employed, so I had to do everything for myself. You know what I'm saying? I worked from home on the computers, and then I waited to the office just to catch up. So a lot of the stuff that we did, we as journalists back in the day, we used to create our own workload. You see what I'm saying? So like this week, I'll tell them what I'm going to write about. So I'll say I'm going to interview this artist, and I will go and find that artist. If I didn't, say I fancied interviewing, I don't know, say Jay-Z, then I would phone up Universal Records and say, look, I'd like to interview Jay-Z. And they'll say to me, okay, he's over here in 2 weeks' time, or he's going to be here at such and such a time. And then they would book in an interview with us, okay? Or they would contact us and say, you know, we've got so-and-so in the country, especially with Sean Paul. When he came over to the country, they came directly to me because they liked the way I wrote my articles. You see what I'm saying? Because one of the things when I wrote...
that Denise was asking, did you not feel nervous when you had to interview some of these big artists? Were you not nervous at the time?
Not really, because you see, I interviewed most of those artists before they broke. So to me, they were ordinary people, and they still are ordinary people. Because I meet a lot of artists now, and a lot of what could I say, politicians, this one, the other. They still are ordinary people, because at the end of the day, the only difference between them and myself is that they have a position, a title.
Okay.
They do a job.
Okay.
You know, because being a teacher, that's what that taught me confidence. And just go back, I remember talking to you about the confidence that I have is that my mum taught me to be independent, to have my own and never depend on anyone. And I remember just when we had our little run through that, I talk about vexed money. You know, she taught me to always have your own money, that you could buy your own drink, and if you get fed up in the evening, you can take your own cab and go home.
That's what I've got to teach my daughters. You got to go out with some vex money. Now depends on no man to buy your drink. No man forget your cab to go home.
Yeah, not even friends. Because even though I used to go out with a lot of friends, I always had my own money. Because a lot of the times I found that people always wanted me to buy the drinks. You see what I'm saying? Because I already used to offer. And then what I'll do is I'll buy it 2-3 times, and then the next time if they don't buy it, I just say, look, I'm going out with somebody else next week. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and they'll get offended. But you see now, to me, I was brought up very kind of posh and bossy, because my grandma was a dressmaker, so she made my clothes. So I always had unique clothes. Let me just see what this lady's saying.
She's got her vex money.
You must never leave home with that. Who's that? Lady Reed, definitely, you never leave home without your vex money. You know, and growing up, that was when I was, you know, I was started raving when I then, you know. So I've always had my own, you know. Even when I later on in life, when I was even doing the magazine now, I remember I did it, and I was so confident that it would sell that I went down to Virgin Records in Piccadilly Circus, and I just walked in there and I said, I'd like to speak to one of the managers. And they go, why? I said, I want them to take this magazine. And I said, well, I don't know about that. I said, well, let me speak to the manager, let him tell me that. Yeah. So remember the manager coming out after about an hour of me waiting, and I said, look, I want you to take this magazine, right? And they said, well, we you know, it's independent. We don't normally take it from people. I said, but look, you've got every other magazine on the shelves. You've got pop, you've got they didn't have R&B at the time. They had hip hop, and they had like rock and all of the other music. I said, look, as a person that lives in this country with all of my life, I like to see representation of myself on your shelves. And and after persuading him, he took it. You know, he just says, I like your style.
So hence, now we've got distribution running through Virgin, HMV. Keep going, girl. Keep going. Tell the story. Tell the story.
When Virgin took it, I just ran down to HMV and said, look, Virgin has got this magazine, so you need to have it as well, because you can't be without it, you know. Because back in the day, you used reverse psychology on these people. And I think because of the confidence I had in it, you know, because I have said to them, look, I'll give it to you. You can put it on your shelf. If it doesn't sell, I'll come back next week and take it. Yeah. and of course it's sold. The thing is now, a lot of the news agents, to get it to the news agents, they wouldn't take it unless I went through a distribution company, and that would happen to be W.H. Smith's.
Okay.
So I went to I didn't go to them. I wrote to them and say, look, can you take this magazine? They didn't answer. So I remember going to Waterstones in Piccadilly as well, Tottenham Court Road, Charing Cross Road, that's it. And I said to them, will you take this magazine? But you see now, what I'd like to say to people is that this story, I'm talking about it quite fast, I'm running through it quite quickly.
Yeah, because I would love to have been able to slow you down, and I would, just take a quick look at the private chat, because it is a lot. You've got so much more to add, and I'll keep you. In fact, no, keep going. Don't feel you got to rush it.
One of the things I wanted to say, and it's going to come, we'd have to take a part 2. You don't know that, don't it?
Yes, of course.
You've been told, Rudi.
Of course.
You're told.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, she's just being facey. Donna's she's always just putting me in my place. It's okay.
The thing is that the thing for people, what I want to get across to people is that if you believe in yourself, right, and that confidence comes across to other people, you can convince them of anything. Yeah. And if you believe in the Most High and you trust in the Most High, He will give you the skills. Because my catchphrase has always been, God bless the child that has his own. Yeah. Okay. And for me, I've always gone out and done things for myself because I don't believe there's anything I can't do. You see what I'm saying? Even all of the jobs I've had, I've kind of like taught myself. And if I don't know, I will ask somebody. And that's the thing. I'm not afraid to ask somebody. If I don't know something, I say, excuse me, I don't have a clue about this. Can you show me, please? You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like me all the time. I don't have a clue. I don't know nothing. me fool for catch wise. That's what them call it. Fool for catch wise.
That is what they call it.
But sometimes, you see, like, I don't know about now. Now it's a bit different with the young people. I don't understand the attitude that they have. They want something, but they want it now. And but slow down, because that's the society that we live in today. I mean, even if you look at Primark, it's buy the clothes now, dash it wear tomorrow, get something else. Whereas we were brought up in terms of having quality. Look at the clothes that our parents came to this country in. It was always quality clothing, from the hat to the dress to the gloves they used to wear, the shoes. When them man them was working on building sites back in the day, do you know what I mean? They were wearing proper trousers. Suits they were wearing. So it was always about doing things properly and presenting yourself well. But the youngsters nowadays, it's a different ball game. I mean, just the mobile phone alone says that I can get in touch with somebody around the world in less than like that. Whereas us lot used to have to put it in an envelope, and the envelope would take 10 days before it got up on the board, before it get to the. You know what I mean? So it is different times that we're living in. Well, yeah, and I think that you see now, it's not only the young people. Some of the people our age as trying to live with the young people or trying to live the life of a young person.
No, I don't like it when I see man walking with his trousers out his bottom and all them kind of things. The man should be man. Let the youth them be the youth.
Don't like
the man them be the man.
Okay. But I always talk. I'm being on a radio now on a particular radio station. I always say, little just in my show and say, look, back in the day we used to do this. And it's not because I want to go back or live in the past. It's that we had principle in certain things that we did and how we present ourselves. I still dress in colors. My shoes and my hat and my bag matches. It's natural for me. I've always done it. And back in the day, the men them did the Beachy, the Farahs, the slacks, the Crocs. You know what I mean?
That's the Crocs. You can see how you used to carry yourself back in the day. Look how you used to carry yourself back in the day. Look what we're talking about.
Beautiful.
Do you know what I mean?
The women had the same thing. The Burberrys even.
Talk to the women about their wearing jeans because they want to be like man.
Yeah, jeans to a dance. I mean, I remember going to a particular club in South London, and they was told to dress up, ladies in dresses and men in suits or something like that. Yeah, this is recently. This is quite a way back, and because the club isn't there anymore. And somebody turned up, had a very nice top on, nice shoes, nice bag, and she was wearing tight jeans. And I just turned around and said to my friend, loudly, why would you come out in jeans and such a nice top and shoes? And she turned around and she kind of give me one dirty look. But I just looked at her and saying, yeah, I said it. You know, because we just kind of lost it, and it wasn't a young person that was doing it. It was somebody our age group. And I'm thinking, you didn't come up like that. Go on, my girl. Yeah, them ones. Yeah, you didn't come up like that. You're copying your daughter or your niece or whatever. You know, and that's the problem. A lot of the older people trying to get looking like their sons or trying to compete with their sons or compete with their daughters, the women. No, a lady should be a lady, because even on the street, we'll change the subject somehow. But
no, that's okay. That's okay. That's how it segues. I like segues. I like segues. I like segues.
Yeah, because and the thing is, the magazine, when I started off with a reggae magazine, I then changed it to include R&B. Yeah, we got what's her name, Missy Elliott on the cover. We got Rihanna on the cover. Yes, Rihanna, the Rihanna. You know, we got those people on the cover because we changed it to come with GMAG now. Sorry, GMAG.
Okay. You want to go into GMAG now?
Yeah? I changed the name to GMAG. That's the one. Yeah. One of the reasons we changed the name from Gargamel to GMAG was quite a few reasons. The thing is, because people associate it with being Buju Banton's magazine, as by the way, it had nothing to do with him. He didn't even want to contribute because he didn't believe me when I said I was going to do the magazine.
Please tell them about the story with W.H. Smith before you get to where you're getting. I know where you're going, but I mean, the whole W.H. Smith also was a reason why you had to change the mag to GMAG.
Yes. Well, I was going to add that as well, because that's an important part. But one of the main reasons for changing the name is that, like, people were calling it Buju's and it wasn't his, and he was getting upset, whatever. And people wanted the magazine, but they didn't want to pay for it. Yeah. So,
when you say people, what people are you referring to?
Balance it. Yeah. But the main
when you
thing
say people, though, sorry to cut you, but when you say people, are you referring to the consumers or are we talking about distributors now?
We're talking about all three of them: the consumers, the distributors, as well as the people that we were putting inside the magazine. The people like what can I call it? The purchasers, because some people take out adverts and not pay for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was like the small man in the street would take out an advert, and then we say because we trust them, say, oh yeah, I'll pay, and then they wouldn't pay after we finished the magazine. Give it to them, they won't want to pay, and that's happened with quite a few people. Yeah. There's even got some big artists. They call themselves big artists, but they took out like an advert on the back cover and didn't pay because they felt like they're so big they ought to be in the magazine for free.
Right.
Yeah. So I would get up, I would work 24 hours and spend my own money that I could have had 2-3 houses now, to put on a magazine to give it to people for free. But anyway, one of the reasons that you want me to get to is W.H. Smith's now.
Yes.
Back in those days, because the magazine was moving so fast, the powers that be, not just W.H. Smith, because we had another distributor, they would take the magazine, sell it, and tell me that they didn't sell it. And all the money that they made went on administration. So I said to them, if you didn't sell the magazine, can I have those copies back? They said, no, that's not our policy. We don't give back unsold copies. I said, all right, then I'll pay you to give me back those unsold copies. They didn't want to have it. So because I was in a contract with them, the only way to get out the contract was to change the name and the status of the magazine. Yeah. So I changed it from Gargamel, instantly, and called it GMAG. Yeah. The G, right, representing Gargamel, and the mag, short for magazine. Yeah, that was one thing. And I then made the magazine free, right, which meant they couldn't get any money from me. Yeah. And the people that was going in the shops, because the consumers now as well, there were people that go in the shops and steal it.
Okay. Yeah? I used to just stand up in the shop and read it.
And the next thing, right? You'd have people like Rudi Lickwood that would go in the shop and read it and put it back on the shelf. Yeah.
I couldn't afford it.
Yeah. And, and people, and we even, it was £3. Then another, just to let you know, we was the first black magazine in this country, right?
Yeah, because everyone would assume that Echoes was the first. Echoes.
No, Echoes was a newspaper, and they were before Gargamel Magazine, but there was a newspaper, and about 8 or 9 months after Gargamel came out and they saw the impact of Gargamel, they changed theirs to a magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they worked before me, and then in Germany, we distributed the magazine in Germany. I never got back a penny. I sent a whole edition to Germany, and they said to me, they took this for the transport, this for the distribution, this for the admin. I never got back a penny. And 6 months later, they came out with their own magazine entitled Rhythm.
Okay,
Yeah?
so that's where Rhythm came from. Okay.
Yes. And when you say you couldn't afford it, my magazine, it started off at £2.50, then it was £3. When Rhythm came to this country, it was £5, and people rushed to buy it.
Yeah, but I was doing the YTS at that time, man. I was doing the £22.50 a week job.
No, you wasn't good. Whatever. It's only like 20 years ago. But you know, but you saying that, a lot of people went in the shop and spent all day in there reading it cover to cover.
Yeah, we all did. A lot of us did. A lot of us actually. A lot of us saw that magazine, but we did not know the story behind it. None of us knew the story behind it.
Right. Okay. And that's the thing now. With you guys helping me out, right? I said to myself, no, I can't do this. So I got out of the contract with WH Smith because they made X amount of money out of it. And not just me. When I decided to close, end the contract with them, they almost went out of business because I spoke to a lot of people that owned other black magazines, hair and beauty magazines. And I said, look, you can't, they were doing the same thing to them. It wasn't just me. So at that time, a load of magazines closed down. There was Blues and Soul, that's it.
I remember Blues and Soul.
Yeah, there was quite a few magazines that closed more that same year that I came out of contract with WH Smith. And if you notice now, we don't hear about WH Smith. They're not in business.
No. I mean, the internet killed them.
Yeah,
they go on. Sorry to cut you.
That's what I'm saying. You see, when you rob people of something always comes along to kind of counter that. You with me? So now the people that couldn't afford to go through WH Smith, they could do their magazine online. Yeah, and so that the kind of like the tools for it now came about, where you've got this thing called Issue. Yeah, where you can actually put a magazine online and get people to pay for it. But my main concern wasn't even in this country alone. I had somehow the story I came around in full circle because I had writers in Jamaica, America, Canada, Germany, the Gambia, Nigeria. Yeah, and those people came to me there. People coming to this country and taking the magazine back to their country. Yeah. Because there were shops like, I had it distributed in like all the record stores, in East London. I remember Regal Records, Body Music, South London, Dove Vendor, Hawkeye, Peckins, Chris Peckins, big up to Chris Peckins. He was one of the first people that had confidence in my magazine. He would take the whole set and he would personally sell it to people. Yeah. Okay. He would say, yes, you need this magazine. And he would sell the most, more than anybody else. Yeah. And then when I went in there, Peckins had produced music and that, his dad, used to work with Studio One. He would give me music to kind of play, even after I stopped the magazine. Every time I went down there, he goes, oh, what are you playing now? Because when I wasn't on radio, I'd play out to parties or wherever, and he'll give me music. You know what I'm saying? So, So my other thing was I would send the magazines abroad through subscriptions. I'd send one copy to Japan, one. But by the end of say 2 weeks, the whole of Japan had the magazine. Yeah. Because that particular person would take it down, put it on their press, and print off
and print it off. Yeah, print it off.
Copy it. The same thing in Jamaica. I'd send a box down. The whole of Jamaica had the magazine.
It's weird. It's weird. Here, sorry to cut you, but it's weird the way in which us as Black British initiatives seem to. The moment we start getting involved in any kind of international business, we get ripped off. It's happened with the artists who do music. It's now happening with the magazines. It's happening with the comedy. And we could go on. But I'm gonna have to cut you short here because I know you've got more to say, and I know that people want to hear more. And I would like to invite you back, actually, DJ Cameo, to tell the rest of your story. I think everybody's going to be longing to hear more of what you've got to say. But so what are you planning to do with GMAG now? What are you planning to do?
Well, after like 10 years, or almost 10 years of being dormant, mind you, the even though I've been dormant in terms of print, the website is still there, and it's always been there, and that's www.gmag.org.uk. Yeah, when we were printing Gargamel /GMag, I set up a company. So it was a company limited. Camper Entertainment is my company limited.
Okay.
I've now I closed that company, and just last year I opened another company called Camper Entertainment, but this time it's a community interest company. Yeah. And so I plan to relaunch GMAG. I'm not going to call it Gargamel. It's just because so many people got used to Gargamel. I'd say that so that people but GMAG is what we are about now. Yeah. I did have last year in November I had a relaunch, and then this year in March I had a second relaunch, and COVID just kind of blanked the whole thing.
It mash up everybody. It mash up everybody.
Everything. Yeah. But you know what? I don't knock the COVID, because when I talk on my radio show, just to mention, DJ Cameo is on lightningradio.net. I have my show.
Wait. Could you please repeat that? You're on where?
lightningradio.net.
Okay. And what day are you?
19.8 FM.
And what days are you on? What day are you on?
I'm on a Tuesday afternoon, 1 till 3. I do a show called the Soul Vibration Show, where I play soul, R&B, hip hop, and I may even drop in the odd popular music, because we grew up in this country on popular music, pop, as in ABBA and Elton John. Well, not even Elton John, and the Carpenters. And just to say that, you know, me playing pop is not a strange to the people my age, because before we had reggae music and soul music on the radio, as children that went to junior school and senior school here, we listened to
country music
and pop alone.
and country music and country music.
Oh yes, country music. Yeah,
and country music.
Yeah, you know, Elvis Presley and company. You know what I'm saying? Pop man, trying to think of country
Elvis
music.
the Teeth, man. Elvis the Teeth. But no, I have to stop this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring this to a close. I don't want to, because I can feel that we can go on.
One more thing. On a Thursday, though. Sorry, Rudi. On a Thursday, I've got a show called the Ride the Rhythm Show, 6 to 8 on a Thursday on lightningradio.net.
So people, I hope you've heard that, and I hope you're thrilled with the information that you've got. It's been a pleasure having you, DJ Cameo. It's also been a pleasure having you along my side, Donna. Even though you're fierce in a ass.
Shut up, man.
You're fierce when you're ready.
I tell you about your mother.
You know, so you're fierce. But we've got to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't tell him.
She's fierce, man. So thank you very much for joining us, and catch me next week. My special guest is going to be Paul Dawkins. Bring it up with my soul.